What's going on, everybody? I'm Son of Kim, your host, America's Face of Dating. And we have a quite impressive video we're going to break down for you today. How to DM a girl on Instagram with real examples, and he gets the number, and his game is just on fucking point. And so that was a question that I got from one of you guys, literally right here on my screen. It says, Son of Kim, I need your help. How do I start a conversation with a girl over Instagram and make sure she doesn't ignore my text? And so, what I'm going to show you right now, we got 3 pictures of the entire conversation, starting from Instagram, going to get the number. Maybe I'll make another video if you guys want on what happened after he got the phone number. But this guy's in my Eros program. He joined, gosh, when did he join, man? Definitely a couple months back. I think about 4 months back. And he was very, very nervous to join at first. Just because it's a pretty hefty investment. Right, for some guys. Some guys it's not, some guys it is, depending on the age. And this guy was just going into university. He's like, hey man, I think it's going to be really worth it, just for the rest of my life, making this investment into myself. And as you can see, it's definitely paying off. And so we have some more work to do. I want to work with him some more on some other things, but his game is pretty much on point here. And so let me just pull up the first image here, but what we have here is quite impressive, like I said. So he's crushing it. Oh, and if you guys do need my help, or you guys want my help and want to see if you're a good fit for the program, there's a call link in the description below. Just pick a time in there. You'll talk to me or my team. And also, if you're not really ready for that yet, just DM me on Instagram. Let's say like the word purple monkey. So I know you guys came from YouTube, so we'll give you guys more priority instead of coming from my shorts and reels and all that stuff. So let's do this thing. So he DMs this cheerleader. And he goes, where's the part when you throw another cheerleader up and you're expected to catch her? Because apparently in the picture, I'm not going to show you guys the picture of this chick, but she's a cheerleader. She's dancing in the picture with her little pom-pom things. And I've dated too many cheerleaders, so, I've seen too many of that crap. But then she replies to him and she goes, haha, I don't do that. I'm actually a dancer, not a cheerleader. Wish I had the strength to perform stunts like that. Okay, she's a dancer, whatever. Fuck it. And then he goes, well, now you do have the strength for the stunt. Well, now you do have the strength for the stunt. Since I'm here, I can toss you around all day with a 9 out of 10 chance that I won't drop you. Look what he did right there. He's like, with a 9 out of 10 chance that I won't drop you. And so what he's doing right there is like, most guys would be like, with a 10, I'm certain, baby. I promise you I won't drop you, right? I'm sure I won't drop you. Like, trying to like validate her, but he's like, oh, it's like a 9 out of 10 chance. Like, I'll probably drop you, but like most of the time I won't. Most of the time I won't, so it'll be okay. And she plays back with it. So this is what it looks like when a girl's playing back with you, and she's not interested, right? She's not like, okay, I want to marry this guy. But when she does something like this, when she responds like this, she's like, she's testing the waters. She's testing to see if you're a guy that's actually worthwhile. So she goes, yeah, that 1 out of 10 chance got me a little bit scared there. That 1 out of 10 chance has me a little bit scared. And he goes, no need to fear. I have a routine. I throw them in the air. I close my eyes. It says, and I count to 10. And then successfully catch them. So right there's a super, super playful response right there, right? He's like, I close my eyes and count to 10. So he's like, all right, 1, they're going to drop pretty much anytime soon. And she, you can see that happening in your head. This is the power of painting that vision over text, is that the girl is like, what the fuck? Like, she's like, he's definitely going to drop me when he does this, but let's see what she responds with. Let's see how playful she goes. And she responds and she goes, what if they fall by 9? Oh, so she's testing him here. This is a test, right? She's like, what if they fall by 9? She's testing his strategy here. She's testing to see if he keeps the frame, right? He goes, I close my eyes and I count to 10 and then I successfully catch them, which is hilarious because they're definitely going to fall before 10 seconds. This is why it's so playful. It's provoking her. It's challenging her to respond, right? It's making her want you. And that's something I talk about in Eros, is that you want to be playful and challenging. And look at how playful and challenging he's being. He's like, don't worry, baby, I'll catch you. Challenging her. He's like, I'll catch you. Like, don't worry. And like, this is my strategy, right? He's being playful with this. Like, it's not serious at all. And so she goes, what if they fall by 9? So let's test you guys. Well, I might not show you guys the responses to this, but what would you guys respond with? What would you guys respond with if he was saying this, right? If a girl said this to you, what would you respond with? Something to think about there. But let's see what his response was. So he goes, well, since you brought that up, They, or you in this case, would be falling for me quickly if that happened. That's actually such a fucking smooth response, man. I'm so proud to see my guys learning, dude. That is so funny. So she goes, what if they fall by 9? And he goes, they, or you in this case, would be falling for me too quickly if that happened. That is such a 10 response right there. That is so fucking smooth, man. Even look at her response. She's like, these are really cheesy, but pretty creative. Yeah, I mean, let's just break that down for a second, right? So she's like, he's like, well, since you brought that up, they, or you in this case, would be falling for me quickly if that happened. And so this is what they call a play on words, right? Because they're talking about catching, and she's falling as a cheerleader, right? He's going to catch her, right? Catch her in his arms as a cheerleader, and she's falling, right? When he throws her up, goes up, catches her. A lot of guys are too logical, right? They keep talking about falling as if, you know, she's falling back into his arms. But what is another term for falling? Falling in love with somebody, right? Falling in love with them. And that's where he actually brought it to. He's like, yeah, well, you'd be falling for me quickly if that was the case. Look at that. Just, I can see the smirk on there. He's like, yeah, you'd be falling for me quickly, I guess. You can take that both ways. And that's what flirting is. It's reading between the lines, right? It's reading between, like, okay, so we're talking about falling as a cheerleader, but he's talking about falling in love. So she goes, these are really cheesy, but pretty creative. And he says, if by cheesy you meant charming, then you'd be right. Straight out of Eros, man. I love it. I love the smoothness here. And she goes, no, I think cheesy was closer, with a little wink. And so look at that. He winked at her. She winked back. That's a super good sign of interest right there, right? But he didn't go right in there. This is something I had to work with him on. He didn't go right in there, and he wasn't like flirting with her right off the bat, right? He wasn't just like, you know, sending winks and being like that guy that's just way too fucking forward. And girls, like, they just show their friends that they're like, look at this creepy guy who fucking DM'd me, right? He's like, he worked for it, and he waited for that perfect opportunity moment, which is something I want you guys to always wait for, especially the guy that asked this question. Wait for that perfect opportunity moment to send that wink and actually, like, you know, press on that. So she goes, no, I think cheesy was closer with a winky face. And that's a perfect sign of interest right there. When a girl winks back at you, especially in the DMs, it's a perfect sign of interest to actually go for the number and close this thing, or at least do a test close, which is what he does. Which is what he does. So she goes, no, I think cheesy was closer. And he goes, the wink says otherwise, honey. What's your number? So he goes right for it. He said, what's your number? He's like, the wink says, I think another guy in the program actually gave him this response, man. Plug this in for him. That's what we do in Eros, is like, if you need help, if you're stumped, we just plug it in right for you. So he goes, the wink says otherwise, honey. What's your number? Which is so funny. And she goes, I was copying you, honey. And then he just, this is the smoothest thing ever, man. The smoothest thing ever. He sends his number, and he goes, now copycat, it's your turn. She goes, I was copying you, honey. He's like, okay, copycat, it's your turn. He sent his number, now she sent hers. Boom, got the number. Easy peasy. Probably took him 8 texts, I think. That's how it's fucking done right there. And that is just making Team SK, that is making me a proud Eros leader. It's just making me proud right there. And so that's how you successfully get the number. That was pretty fucking easy, wasn't it? My job for the day is done. So I'm going to go celebrate that. So I'm Son of Kim, America's face of dating. And make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below what you guys want to hear more of. And also DM me on Instagram if you guys need help. And I will see you next time.